Hello, my little friends. How are you doing today? I hope you're all having a great day. Today, our story is about a clever boy and a kind prince. How did they meet? Well, follow me to this story, my kind friends, and we will see what will happen. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a little kingdom. The king of the kingdom was a very just man. He was a fair king, and he was loved by all of the people. The people there were very happy, and they lived just across the shore. Every day, boys and girls and children would go to the shore and play there, and they were so happy. But among them, there was one kid that was not so happy. Do you know why was that? Because he couldn't play with his friends. The boy was a very clever one, and he always could achieve the best grades in the school. And he was a very hardworking person as well. But that summer, he lost his dad, and because he had 6 siblings, his mother couldn't earn enough money to give all of them food and what they wanted. This boy was the oldest son, so he knew that he has to help his mother. One day, he went to his mother. His mother was a tailor, and she was working on her sewing machine. So he asked his mother, "Mother, how can I help you?" The mother was very kind, and she said, "I don't need your help. Thank you so much. You should go out and play with other kids. It's summer. You should have fun." The boy said, "But I don't want to have fun. I want to help you." His mother didn't want her kid to work, so he said no. But the boy insisted and insisted. So eventually, the mother had to give up. Well, what do you think that will happen next? Stay with me. I will come back with the rest of the story. Welcome back. Now, if you remember, the boy was looking for a job. His mother said, "But what are you going to do?" The boy said, "I know. I'm gonna go get a fishing net, and then I'm gonna go to the beach and catch fish." His mother said, "But you're not a fisherman. How do you do that?" The boy said, "It's easy. I have seen it for 100 times. I can do that." His mother didn't say anything. The next day, the boy broke his piggy bank and took all the money that he had and went to the shop. He bought a little fishing net and he went to the shore. He spread his fishing net in the sea and he waited to catch fish. At the end of the day, he thought that there's gonna be a lot of fish in his fishing net. But when he took it, he saw that there's only 2. He was so sad. He thought to himself, "Now I cannot sell this fish. And how can I make money out of it?" So he went back to his house, and while he was sad, he said, "I only have fish to eat." His mother was so grateful and said, "Thank you, this is enough. You don't have to work so hard." The boy was not satisfied. The next day, he thought that today I'm gonna get so many fish and I can have time off to play with other kids as well. But this happened again, and he couldn't get enough fish. Days passed and passed, and he was so sad because he couldn't play with kids and he couldn't catch enough fish to sell. So the next morning, while he was sitting on the beach, he saw a strong man coming towards him. Looking at his clothing, he knew that he was royalty. The man sat by him and said, "Why are you so sad, young man?" The boy said, "Well, I have bought a fishing net, but I cannot catch enough fish." The man said, "Okay, I can help you." The boy said, "But I barely know you and I cannot take help from strangers." The man said, "Okay, how about we work as partners?" So the boy thought to himself. He thought that it's so boring to sit here all day, and this man looks like a kind man. I should accept his proposal. So he said yes. The man said, "Your fishing net is not in a good part of the sea. Let's go and I will spread it in the deeper parts of the sea." They went into the deeper parts of the sea and they spreaded their fishing net. After 2 hours, they pulled up the fishing net, and there were so many fish in there. The boy jumped up and down, and he was so happy. He said, "Thousands of fish, hundreds of fish," and he was so happy. Then they took the fish and went to the bazaar to sell them. They went into a shop. The shopkeeper was so happy to see that the boy was finally successful. He told the boy, "You did a good job, man, and I will buy all of them from you." So he bought everything from him and he gave him a lot of coins. The boy was so happy. He was so grateful to the man as well. So he gave some of the coins to the man and said, "This is your share. We're partners, you remember?" The boy said, "Yes, we are partners, but today you keep the money and tomorrow, whatever we earn, I will take it." The boy thought to himself, and then he thought, this is a fair proposal. So he agreed. He went to his house and he and his mother and his brothers and sisters were so happy. The next day, the boy went into the shore and he was waiting for the man to come. But suddenly, he saw 2 guards coming towards him. Why do you think? Why they were coming to him? The boy was a little scared, but he thought that I didn't do anything wrong, so it's all right. Well, you want to know what will happen next? Stay with me and I will tell you the rest of the story. Welcome back! Now, if you remember, the boy was sitting on the shore waiting for his partner. He didn't know who his partner was. It was actually the prince. The prince went back to the castle and told his father about the clever boy that he saw that day. The king wanted to see him as well. So the prince sent the 2 guards to him to bring him over. The boy was in shock and he didn't know what to do. The guards told him that, "Don't worry, little boy, we are gonna take you to the palace and to your partner." The boy didn't know what they were talking about, but he went with them anyway. When he stepped into the palace, he was very amazed at how beautiful it was. It was full of flowers and all of the walls were green. He liked it a lot. Suddenly, he saw the prince. There was a man standing beside him as well. The man said, "Hi, little man. Do you know who's standing beside me?" The boy said, "Yes, he's my partner." Everyone laughed. Suddenly, one of the soldiers said, "You cannot say that he's your partner. He's the prince." The boy was so surprised to know that his partner is a prince. The prince smiled and said, "Yes, he's my partner. Now let him in." The boy went into the castle, and the prince told him that every Monday we have a big lunch, and everyone comes here. At the lunch, my friends pop up a question. Anyone who can answer the question gets a reward. Now, do you want to join us? The boy thought that it was fun, so he accepted. At the lunch, he was very amazed to see how many beautiful dishes and how many different kinds of food was on the table. They ate the lunch, and after that, one of the guests stood up and said, "Okay, it's time for the question. My question is, how can you eat the best food, sleep on the best bed, and have a happy life without having any money?" They were so amazed. They thought, how is that possible? The boy thought for a second, and then he said, "I have an answer." What do you think that his answer was? Well, don't go anywhere and sit tight, because I'm going to get back after a short break and I will tell you. Welcome back. Now, if you remember, there was a question. What was the question? The question was, how can you eat the best food, sleep on the best bed, and be happy all the time without having any money? No one could answer to this question, but our clever boy had a great answer. What was his answer? He told the prince, "I have an answer." The prince knew that the boy is very clever. So he said, "Okay, stand up and tell my friends what your answer is." The boy stood up. Everyone was so surprised to see a little boy has the answer that they didn't know. So the boy stood up and said, "I know the answer. It's all about hard working." They said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, when you are working, you get hungry. When you're hungry, no matter what you eat, it will taste the best. And when you're tired, no matter where you sleep, it's gonna be the best bed for you." The man smiled and said, "Well, that's right, but what about happiness?" The boy said, "The answer is easy. First, we have to trust in God, and we have to know that He will always want the best for us. And then, in the matter of money, we have to always look at people that are not so rich. If we look at the rich people, we will get greed, and we will never be satisfied with the things that we have." All of them clapped for the guy and said, "You are right. We have to be like that all the time. If we look at the rich people, we will never be happy, because there is always someone who's richer than us, and we will be greedy." The prince was so happy to see that the boy is so clever, and the king was so amazed to see how smart the kid was. They gave the kid the money, but the boy didn't accept it. Why do you think that happened? The boy said to the prince, "Well, remember, you're my partner. You will get whatever that I've earned today." The prince knew that if he refused, the boy would be sad. So he said, "Yes, a deal's a deal. So I will take the money." He took the money, and then he told the boy that, "I know how smart and clever you are. I want to work for me in this castle." The boy was so happy, and then he accepted. He knew that it's gonna be a partnership with the prince, and he liked the prince. He was a kind person. And after that, the boy had enough time to play with his friends and continue his education. Now, did you like this story? I hope you did. It was a beautiful story about a smart kid and a kind prince. But don't go anywhere. Come back and I will tell you about the morals of this story. Welcome back, my dear Hodhod friends. Well, which one of the characters did you like the most? The smart boy or the kind prince? Well, I like them both because they had good features. You see, we should learn from people and try to be like them and learn from their good features. Now, did you like today's story? I hope you did. I will be back in the Story Island and I hope to see you tomorrow at this time. Take care of yourselves and I'm gonna miss you so much. So long!